But if it's any consolation to you, you'll be helping us.
I can't do this anymore. I am not your consolation.
That is some consolation.
I don't know if it's any consolation, but 90% of the time, girls are reported.
It's a consolation that feeds the spirit. It strengthens us.
It's consolation for a lovely evening mist.
Any consolation, the word's in, it was a good strike.
But if it's any consolation...
If it's any consolation, I may still have it somewhere around the house.
The solitude of the desert gives me consolation in my own solitude.
4 is to slow the cascade of symptoms. But if it's any consolation to you, you'll be helping us understand the biochemistry of this.
One of us had a date. We could be together for New Year's and it could,
I can't do this anymore. I am not your consolation prize. Goodbye.
Yes. I suppose that is some consolation.
4. I don't know if it's any consolation, but 90% of the time, girls are reported missing from the college. They're at a cabin somewhere with a boyfriend.
But I must say now that with singing of your sort, it is a consolation that feeds the spirit. It strengthens us for this difficult work of ours. Very good.
But don't feel too badly. It's consolation for a lovely evening mist. I am presenting you with the good
Any consolation, the word's in, it was a good strike.
Lost half my crew up there, Colonel.
That's a hell of an apology. But if it's any consolation, I was never going to spare your crew.
I took out, I don't know what to say. If it's any consolation, I may still have it somewhere around the house. My deepest apology.
That is something from a Bedouin fable. The solitude of the desert gives me consolation in my own solitude.
But there is some consolation in the knowledge that he can still be of service to his fellow man.
If it's any consolation, Ed was a zombie for weeks after Germany 4.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's 15 years that are gone. It's not the sort of thing where there's consolation prizes. It's a fairly binary.
How can you know you can't, right?
No, you can't. Look, if it's any consolation, a great many participants were prone to nervous laughter, but my wife actually...
I know it's difficult at such a time, but if it's any consolation, we still have Mr. Holmes.
You killed my best friend, you bastard!
Well, if it's any consolation, you're about to be reunited.
If it's any consolation.
Yet none is without its consolations. You're a good little woman.
If only you could see your face.
That's my consolation, madam. I don't have to look at it. You do.
If it's any consolation, it probably wasn't Dode's kid. It might have been Tug's kid. Frankly, I wouldn't bet a horse.
I need of God. How blessed are the sorrowful! They shall find consolation. How...
I guess if it's any consolation, I want you to know that.
Holy Father, thank you for the glorious hope and for the great consolation. In the name of the Father, and of the Son.
8 years. Well, if there's any consolation to you. You made me hate my...
You probably are right now. If it's any consolation, it was your boy Mason who brought Lucy in for me.
She was charged with murder.
I was acquitted.
And that's consolation.
I told you my husband died.
Yes, but you didn't tell us how, did you?
James, as a consolation, please don't put Humpson on the stand.
And believe me, if she were mine, she'd be on your doorstep in the morning. But, that's your consolation prize.
You kissed me. Every mind must have some counselor to whom it may apply for consolation in distress. There are many conveniences which others can supply.
That was long ago. Now my consolation, it's in the stardust of a song.
And you wound up with me instead.
The Consolation Prize.
When we get back.
Brings in his sheep at the close of day. What could be more natural? A greater consolation. Is it not the fondest hope and desire of all of us?
My consolation for your loss.
Thank you.
Okay, these are the forms you need to fill out.
If it's any consolation, I think you're right. About the frost giants, about Laufey, about everything. Yeah.
Oh, if it's any consolation, I never really intended to involve you.
Nurse, I derive much consolation from the fact that my colleague, Mr.
Afterward, she learned that this was not uncommon with cats. The fact that Harold landed on his feet 10 floors below was of little consolation.
Abraham's life slips by. But this fine old university of ours, she offers some rare consolations, wouldn't you say?
Beyond measure, sir.
But I cannot refrain from tendering to you the consolation that may be found in the thanks of the Republic.
Loves his freedom. And I don't know if this is any consolation, but at our next dream
I may have been another year older and still single, but I could always take consolation in my job as top news producer.
So, how will I be changing the world today? Well,